Hello my fellow Ben 10 fans and RunningMan fans, to this special video, and today I'm about to transform your favorite RunningMan characters into Ben 10 aliens. Alright, why did I do this exactly? It's actually, show this to the entire community, 2 communities to be exact, fusing both Ben 10 and RunningMan characters. Let's just say that Ben actually obtained their DNA. Since some of which are unnatural or not based on real life, I decided to give it to them. Well, let's just say that let's say that Ben had his own forms of various RunningMan characters, such as the Palulus, of course, which I'll be doing that in the other parts of the video. So without further ado, let's get to it. Let's go. Okay, so I first started off with Nyanya. Ever since Nyanya was actually cat-related tribe, I was actually hoping, what if Ben had Nyanya DNA? Ever since he doesn't have fast track, he only has Wrath, the tiger, of course. Well, basically, if Ben had Nyanya DNA, I think for me, he would actually name it Spycat, or I don't know, it's either Spycat though. Okay, so Spycat actually has the enabling ability to be flexible and very sneaky though. Unlike Spy from Team Fortress 2, he doesn't have the ability to cloak himself invisible, duh. So basically that he actually has claws, that some of which is actually based on Mio and Ramado. I decided to choose Mio as a reference because it makes sense. I was supposed to give a Rama aesthetic, but I scrapped that. So yeah. Well, basically the design of Spycat was it's actually a bit pretty normal. Yeah, pretty normal. Well, my orientation with this cat boy is not much of a furry. So Spycat actually has durability of dodging quick and using his grappling hook, and it's like a mix with Wrath and Spider Monkey. Okay, so where is his Omnitrix located? So his Omnitrix is located in the belt though, just like Neo and Rema. So I actually decided to give it the belt of Big Chill, Brainstorm, etc., you name it, and give it the aesthetic though. I go with the Ben Prem though, so yeah. I got some inspirations for the eye glow from Ink Tank's 5 years later. Go watch it. Go read that if you haven't seen it. So basically so the appearance of Spycat would either be from a cat alien related species, if Ben actually encountered one, more sort of a Nyanya, or some witch, for instance. So basically we don't have to deal with this motherfucker here, although he would actually be scared of dogs. Of course, cats hate dogs. He would actually screech. But what he has is actually a screeching sound, unlike Echo, or more likely as him. Basically, his screech attack would actually scare away any predator or any enemy related, like dogs. And it also has a hunting instinct. Well, unlike Kyber, or any predator alien. And at some point, last but not the least, of course, he has a weakness. Red dots. Like an apoplexium, of course. Like we see in the episode where Wrath actually chases the red dot that Rook was actually pointing. It would actually have the same fate as him. Well, like I see in the episode where Mio and Kuga were actually chasing the red dot while Lee was actually distracting them. they seem to have a characteristic to chase red dots. So yeah. As always, here he is. Spycat. The DNA of Nyanya. There is not always luck, but there is stealth. Okay, so this next one is Charming Gold, which I named the form of peacock PeaCrash. Ever since Charming Gold is a PeaCrash, or naming peacock. Sorry. So anyways, what can PeaCrash do? PeaCrash has the ability with normal attacks though, but he has flexibility, and now he can actually protect attacks or defend himself using his tail, like Shen from Kung Fu Panda 2. And what else does he have? Well, basically, he actually has the ability to jump high. Not really high though. And basically, he actually has a wild side of himself. When his instincts kick in, he started to go feral, like any other predators though, or any bird species. So basically, I just tried to imitate the attacks of Charming Gold, but basically I could actually imitate from Shen's apparently. Doesn't need any sword or anything. He just only uses his tail as a shield. But also he could actually shoot out, let's just say, feather arrows. Yeah, that's right, feather arrows from his tail. Not from his hands or anything, but his tail, of course. Yeah, that's right, the tail is. So, the only function that actually gains defense and attack is his tail. But what else does he have besides his tail? Well, he's actually very fast to dodging, not fast as accelerate. Well, basically, if Ben actually transforms to this alien, let's just say that PeaCrash would actually have a hard time getting used to. There are no certain attacks or any moves that PeaCrash has, only his tail and flexibility, durability, and actually evading. Yeah, evading. He is more of a Swiftfoot. He also has a charm ability. Yeah, a charm ability, which actually has him a propulsion. Let's just say that PeaCrash has the ability to charm other enemies though from under his trap, like Vampire. As always, the finished product is here. Charming Gold's DNA, also known as PeaCrash. Ben's DNA form of a peacock. And here's what he looks like. Yeah. Alright, so the third one I actually made is FlockBuster. I had no other names for Palulu DNA for Ben, so I decided to name it FlockBuster. So yeah, it's not Blockbuster, it's FlockBuster. So okay, what does FlockBuster do? Although he has a mechanical body and an organic head, which makes sense though. In the cartoon, it actually shows that the Palulu members are actually part of the Metronome. Although the Metronome actually had a lot of tribes, like the Nyanya tribe. That's where it began. Well, although there was an OC named Mezzo, made by a friend of mine named Phantom Queen. Go follow her on YouTube, Instagram, etc. You name it. Alright, so let's not change the subject here. So, what can he do? Well, what he really can do is actually able to manipulate any robotic moves. Well, his body, of course, can actually rotate 360 degrees. Like, 360, no scope. Alright. In his hands, of course, it actually enables him to actually turn into grappling hooks. Instead of Mio using a grappling hook with like a device or something, well, for FlockBuster, his hands can. And his hands can also actually shoot out laser beams from his hands, of course. And his legs, well, I could say that's his speed. Let's just say that he's not that fast. Well, although he actually can manipulate it. Although he actually can manipulate the acceleration. And there are some extra abilities that are hidden in him. Well, some of which are actually brute strength. And some of which, of course, can be brute defense. I don't know what brute defense is, but yeah, I just made it up. Don't worry about it. And his Palulu form, he could actually, let's say that when his biomechanical suit was broken, he actually has a tiny body though. Although Palulus are quite small. I mean, they're almost the same size as Ultimate Grey Matter. Like, yeah. Ultimate Grey Matter is actually used by Albedo. So last but not least, that he has the ability to roll like a ball, like Cannonball. And yeah, those are his movesets. And here it is. Here he is, the Palulu himself, FlockBuster, Ben's DNA form.
As promised, Heavy will now lay egg in your mouth.
Last but not the least of the RMA characters as Ben 10 aliens is none other than Royalion. Who is Royalion? He is actually the DNA sample of either both Rex or Manus. Well, there is actually male characters that are lions. That's why I chose Manus to make it look like he's a fucking king. Okay, so what are his abilities exactly? His abilities, he has actually enhanced strength, enhanced durability. He actually has some hidden powers in him that are either 2 to 3. So basically, his normal attacks are actually punching, kicking, you name it. It's either a lot though. Well, I can't count. But what are his hidden abilities exactly? His hidden abilities are actually an echo sound wave roar, similar to Blitzwolfer's species, the Loboans. And he also has a 4 times crit damage on any opponent with his own bare fists. And also, he has a hidden Force Watch though, which is actually fused with the Omnitrix, which enables him to create or manipulate the effects. For example, Spirit of Time, he actually can manipulate it, but it would actually end up in a minute. So, Ben's gotta think fast before timing out his powers. So yeah, although Royalion is actually more of a white lion, but I decided to go with Manus' design instead. Make it look like a royal king, as I mentioned before. Alright, so the second ability, how should I say this? His third ability is that he actually can carry heavy things. After all, he is strong. Well, due to its appearances and muscles, he actually can break through it with just one fist open. So yeah, he's not as strong as Atomics or Alien X or something. He's actually an average fighter, like forearms. Yeah, forearms. And humongous sword. And that is Royalion, the DNA sample of a Leo from RunningMan. That's the last one. Yeah. So anyways, thank you guys for so much for watching this video. I hope you leave a like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss this kind of content. If you want to see me more draw any character into Ben 10 aliens, comment down below on what aliens or any character should I turn into an alien next. And stay tuned for more, because I'll see you all next time. Adios!